Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. That took a minute. Alrighty. Welcome back. So, things happened last time. Nox got trapped in something after touching the remains of the squid. Everyone else got a little bit of loot, but then they noticed Nox was as stiff as a board, and Fenrir picked him
light
up.
as a feather?
Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Nope. Unfortunately not, but for Fenrir, kind of light as a feather, when you think about it. That big old wolf boy. Anyways, so that's where we're gonna start. So, you are in this black, empty void. And after a couple seconds, you start to see twinkling light all around you. And previously, the squid is stood right in front of you. Why, hello.
What is this?
Oh, just last. How do I put this? It's more of the last bits of my consciousness.
Well, I understand that, but it's
Why are all these people so self-aware?
different to what I'm used to.
Well, it's more fitting for myself. I've always been fascinated with the night sky. It makes sense that my last moments would be looking at the stars. But enough about me. Why are you here?
Well, we were examining your fetid remains and I got drawn in.
Interesting. Very interesting. I wonder why.
Doesn't usually happen involuntarily.
Oh.
You act like that's not half the time.
Maybe usually he does it intentionally.
Yes. Yeah, you actually do. Well, what do you want to know?
How do we find your counterpart?
Well, if I keep you here long enough, he might find you. And without you, your friends, well, they'll have a mighty rough time.
I think you underestimate how effective I was in that last fight. Overestimate, I mean.
Oh no. My weaknesses are not the ones of the bull. Weaknesses that some of your group were able to exploit. But I can say for most certainty that you are the most threatening to him.
Good to know. What exactly was your plan here? Break another seal?
No. We've actually broken enough. We broke enough a long time ago. Back when we were in limbo.
So why all the games?
Well, we have to break the keys, in a sense. You have one, don't you?
I do.
Yes. See, unfortunately, unbeknownst to us, the keys are singularly locked to specific beings. In this case, the dragons made it so that their blood were the only things that were able to activate them. Well, they're dead now.
How inconvenient for you.
Yes, kind of counterproductive, if I might say so myself. You just muted yourself.
Yeah, I was opening a bag of stuff.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you did that unintentionally.
No. It was to save you lots of rustling. It sounds like you found a way around that particular problem.
Yes. Kill enough people and absorb their essence, and you can overpower it. Which is why most densely populated areas are our targets.
Lord Petdan's methods are delightful as ever.
They were your methods once too, you know.
Thankfully, I do not remember that.
But you remember some of it.
Flashes. I remember my creation. The experiments.
Yes. The experiments that ultimately failed. I'm surprised you don't recognize me.
Maybe part of me does. That would explain why I was drawn in here.
Maybe you should think back a little harder to when you were locked in a cage.
That narrows it down these days.
As you think back, and you picture back what is going on,
In Petdan's castle?
No. When you were being tortured. When you were being experimented on. All the way back in
Explains why I
those
don't
days.
remember it.
You somewhat remember another child across from you. But what's different is that normally the children are there for like a day. After that, they're gone. You never see them again. This child was there for multiple days. Which is why you subconsciously noted it in your head.
You were the one they kept bringing back.
I was the one who they experimented on first before doing the same to you. So many innocent lives dead just to create you. Although you were different then. Less demon-like.
Less demon-like then? That surprises me.
In terms of timeline, this would have been before they merged you with Moros.
Oh, okay, so it would have just been like a satyr.
I'm sorry?
It would have just been like a satyr then.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did pick an interesting individual to bind me with.
Yes. I hear he's still around.
Yes.
After they had merged you two, I had heard that they were going to execute him.
Somehow he slipped through their net. I imagine one of the ancient old ladies had something to do with that.
Maybe. I don't know what happened to you after that, because I was sold afterwards to Lord Petan.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Maybe. Maybe not. You see, he gave me a life. Something to work towards. Whereas you are just bumbling about without any
I don't know
real
about that.
purpose.
He gave me a life and something to work against.
Maybe so. But do you really know what you're working against?
I know stopping him meant a great deal to the dragons.
The dragons were singularly focused on the Demon Prince. Nothing
True.
more, nothing less. But are you for sure? Are you for sure that that's what Lord Petan is after?
I know that's not his primary goal.
So you do know what his primary goal is.
I know that freeing the Demon Prince is merely a side effect.
Very much so. Then you also know by killing us, you are making it more viable for him to rise again.
Not to frown at that.
You still know nothing.
We stopped your ritual.
You stopped a ritual. There can be more.
Not from you.
No. But I am but a twig in a forest. The groundwork has been laid. Unfortunately for you, though, I do not hold the key.
What, he didn't trust you with anything important?
Oh, he did. The bull has come and gone. Skillful retreat. Keeping you occupied. Well, that was my idea. For if we got caught, using the last bit of my life to commune with you takes a bit. But at least he got away. Who knows? Maybe he'll join the others.
We'll see about that.
Sure you will. He snaps his fingers, and you return back. And you are roughly like 20 feet away from the actual body now.
I would like to imagine that we are really high up on a ladder.
Yeah, we're just crawling out and just kind of like tied onto
Like-
Fenrir's back or something.
And like I've just woken up.
Fenrir
Fenrir,
has you
you-
on his shoulder and has been climbing a ladder with one hand.
Yeah. You feel Nox
just
go
like-
limp in your arms, and you. I'm gonna actually
Romantic.
have you do a. I'm gonna have you do a dex save.
X save, okay. Strength save?
Do a flex save.
Dex.
No, like a strength save to like keep hold of him.
Flex.
Oh. I thought dex would be more fitting, because you wouldn't know when he'd become limp. He would just become limp. So, well, do a strength save, actually. That would make sense, too. You successfully keep hold of him as you're climbing this ladder.
I do is like he like falls, he like goes limp like just a bit, like maybe not even going limp, just not having abs of steel. And then like that puts him off balance. He's like, whoa! Literally swatches hands and catches him. He's like, you there?
I'm certainly not where I thought I was.
Oh, we didn't think it was a good idea to stick around.
Yeah, and of course we can't leave you behind, so we gave the guy that actually has muscles you.
Have a good nap.
Well, I believe we've just missed an encounter with the bull.
Well, as disappointing as that is, I'm not sure if I want to encounter him right this second.
Oh no,
Yes,
we
I have to
barely,
agree.
we barely got through Mr. Tentacles.
If they were together, then I'm glad they didn't think to fight together.
No, I believe he came to collect something.
So did we fuck up, or
I don't
This-
think so. Didn't
Oh,
have the
wait.
key. The bull.
You're
has
saying
the
he was
key.
here?
Yes.
No, I'm gonna swing you around so that you can get onto the other side of the ladder. It's like
You could literally just put my feet on the wall.
I know, but like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna swing you in position so you can just like get it. I actually don't know how far away the wall is from the ladder.
What ladder are you climbing? Here's the question.
The one that got down here.
Okay, so Nox, it's like a what's it? It's like a well, kind of like a circular tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
So
How far is
it
it, though?
doesn't take. It takes you like you could like
Reaching.
shift just slightly, and his feet would be against the wall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're able to do that on your own pretty easily. Like,
He
wait,
just like brush himself off.
are you saying that he was where we were? You're certain?
Yes.
Recently?
The squid told me that the only reason he kept me talking so long was so that the bull could slip in and out unnoticed.
Well, to be honest, I don't want to run into him right this second, but if I can go in behind and get some kind of scent, that'll be more than what we had.
He said he's already gone, so it should be safe enough.
All right. Guess I'll take a sniff around. Hopefully he
Big
won't smell
gadget
human.
knows.
I'm gonna head back down. Are you guys gonna head back or?
well, I'll be honest, since there were so many people in that area, trying to find any type of trail would be, trying to find a needle in a haystack while you're wearing a blindfold. It just ain't gonna happen for me.
I'm not looking for a trail. I'm looking for a scent.
So what I'm saying is I can't help.
Yeah, that's fair.
You two secure us a route back. I'll go with Fenrir and we'll meet up with you soon.
Right?
All right.
Alright.
You two climb up the ladder. The other two hop down the ladder. We're gonna follow Kelda and Mason first. Okay, so you guys ascend the ladder. You guys go up the trap door. Everything looks safe. Right, you can see there's no one in the area, no one in the vicinity, as you are looking around.
So far, so good.
Just need to make sure the way all the way back, I guess, is alright.
Yeah.
No one's gonna jump out from any corners.
Hmm.
Except us, of course.
Yeah. You know these streets better than me, so. As he kind of like motions for you to take the lead, but he keeps look behind.
How do you want to do this? Stealthy or just out in the open?
Well, since you and me are more light-footed than our compatriots, let's be a little bit more quiet.
Alright,
All
both of you,
right.
please roll me stealth.
I would like to point out that our entire group is incredibly stealthy.
Pretty.
What I'm saying
I
is
just rolled a 27.
16. But what I'm saying is like, me and her have expertise.
Yeah, I get that. I just mean like, like, our entire group is incredibly stealthy.
I know. It's just we're literally two rogues.
We're on a different level.
Yes.
As
So when
you
we're saying
exit,
we're light-footed, it's like we don't have feet.
as you exit
No
the
way.
building, what was night is now morning. You realize you guys have been fighting literally from midnight, and you estimate it's now around 8 a.m.
What?
As you go around the corner from the alleyway and you look both ends, you see people are just going about their days. People are just walking around, nobody knows what happened, everyone's kind of just doing their thing.
Okay, weird question.
Go ahead.
Since Mason and everybody had fought that, Mason have felt like, man, that felt like it was literally an 8-hour fight, because I know technically in-game combat-wise it wasn't 8 hours.
No.
It was like a minute max.
Yeah.
Yes. But would Mason, because time is just a weird thing with D&D and combat, but would Mason be like, oh yeah, you know what, that was a pretty long combat, like I could like buy this, or would he
Yeah.
be like taking
When
it back?
I can promise you this, that I will, for like big fights like that, I'm definitely gonna disrupt time more, even though D&D rules set the combat only lasted like 2 minutes. I'm gonna make it so that it actually takes more time, and you guys feel that. Your characters
Okay.
would feel that yes, this combat was long, arduous, and it took a while.
Okay, just making sure that there ain't no
Yeah.
time shenaniganeries going
No. It feels like it took forever. And you're glad it's over.
So I probably managed to stay out of like sight for a good at least 6 hours.
Yeah, you bastard.
You've been just sitting by the side having a cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what everyone thought I was doing, but I was actually throwing, you know.
We know we're just having fun because
Yeah.
sniping.
Because you're like the only person who didn't get hit during that entire
I
encounter.
got hit. I got
Okay.
hit.
Once?
I got hit once.
Exactly.
After being given temporary hit points, so I technically only lost 2.
But that's none of my business.
I got a little bit nicked.
I hope everyone else is looking at general chat right now.
Yeah.
Because I just saw that. Oh god,
just
that
instantly came into my head.
God damn it,
My
Knox.
mate was like, just drinking tea.
Okay, okay. Alright, okay. Aside from that, okay, so we're gonna shift back over to, Nox and Fenrir. Fenrir, as you're sniffing around, there are a ton of different scents here. But, due to the fact that there is blood everywhere from the squid's transformation and from the squid dying, you can't really make out scents like for certain. Everything's kind of muddled with the blood of the squid everywhere. Fenrir.
Yeah. He's gonna think for a moment and be like, how do you think he left?
Well, he said something about how I would be his primary weakness of all of us. Trying to think what he means by that.
Let's check each of the hallways. I'm only... If he's human, I'm kind of out of luck either way, but... Presuming that he doesn't
Let's
smell
check.
like one. That's
So
all I'm
Nox
looking
would-
for.
Also look for physical tracks in the blood. Not just scent.
Go ahead
Well,
and roll me
Fenrir.
perception. Okay. Let me just. Okay. So, in terms of any tracks down here, what you see is a lot of the same tracks, which you can assume to be the cultists that were running around and everything.
He came back after he transformed.
Say all of their tracks would have been going out.
Yeah,
And
all
they-
their
they
tracks are
also-
going out.
And their tracks
Um,
would have not been in the blood.
The blood would have gone over the top of them.
No, I'm talking about on going through all the tracks. Their tracks are mainly in the dust, in the dirt, in the spell circle itself, trampling over it as they're running around. The blood overspilled them, and most of the tracks that you find for on top of the blood would be your own tracks. You don't actually see any other tracks other than from yourselves.
Fenrir's gonna go through each of the tunnels and try to sniff for a non-human scent.
So there are 3 tunnels. There is a
one at a
tunnel
time.
opposite from where you entered, and there are 2 on the opposite ends.
Closest to furthest, just one at a time, checking for non-human scents in all of them.
Right. So as
He
you go,
definitely didn't go the route that you guys left because you'd have seen him.
yes. So as you go through each one, you do not scent. You smell. You smell elves. There's a couple elves in the group. There is one dwarf that you thought was kind of odd since there was only one. But nothing out of the ordinary. Mainly human.
He'll mention that to Nox walking back, and mention how the room's kind of done is too strong for a wandering by thing to linger too much.
Trying to think if I've got anything that would be beneficial. I don't think passing Dispel Magic will do any help. I don't.
Alright, so as you go back up, and as you exit into the courtyard, Fenrir, you mostly note that you are covered in blood. And with it being even though it's pretty early in the morning, there are a lot of people out and about, and if you just go strolling around covered in blood, people are definitely going to take note.
He will not realize until they like get to the top. It's like, oh,
No, that's what I mean. You guys got to
Yeah.
the top, and you guys are outside in the courtyard now. And Kelda and Mason are kind of just like around the corner.
You're not going out like that, are you?
I hadn't thought of it until now. Is this very condemning?
Yes.
And in these cities, I know I wouldn't walk into the cities I'm used to like this. But,
Yeah, there's no way we're passing that off.
No way for you to magic my problems away.
Unless you want a tidal wave to the face. Think you can take it?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. If I remember his health points, yeah, he's pretty low.
Yeah, Mason just gave him like a healing word, just give him a few extra points.
Yeah.
So I thought Nox would have
So rare.
vegetation.
It's so rare for me to not have Create and Destroy Water that I don't have it active right now.
How could he?
No.
He's gonna think for a moment. It's like, I could try to sneak by, but I'm a little tired. Gonna
Don't
be as
link onto Kelda's. Go up and tell the others, and we'll take a subterranean route. Yeah, Nox said head up and find the other two
Yep, they're just around the corner.
and say, we have a slight problem. Fenrir is covered head to toe in blood. Not sure that would go too unnoticed walking through the city.
Oh, I can take care of that.
Please.
Yeah, I got a spell for that. As long as he has prestidigitation, so be able to clean him up real quick. So yeah. Let me just
Prestidigitate you.
yeah. As long as Nox leads up to Fenrir,
Yeah.
Mason's just gonna do a quick
Fenrir
little...
is just hanging on to the ladder right outside where you guys entered. So
Yeah, he's just...
You just pull up a manhole cover and there's just this blood-covered thing there.
Yeah, and basically Mason just kind of does a little, little tune and boop. I mean, he's gonna do another one, make him smell a little decent, boop, and yeah, clean and smells like flowers.
So now,
Still
Nox
take
just
a
looks
shower.
at you.
that's so
It
much.
says-
That's so hard to get out of my hair.
You could have done that the whole time.
I don't mind.
You won't mind. You can't smell you.
course I can smell myself. What do you think I deal with every day?
Morose just appears and knocks his shoulder. Yeah, no one likes wet dog.
I would just look back to Mason. Do that more often.
Duly noted.
I'm starting to not like you. Just looking at the cat.
Aw, but I like you so much, puppy.
He'll climb out. Wow, we did that and we didn't even get in trouble. I think we're doing better.
Let's not jinx it.
Please do
Nope,
not
he
jinx it.
jinxed it. As you
Tell me the creepy
all-
postman doesn't turn up.
Nope. As you will exit out of the house, and as you all are together in the courtyard, your entire surroundings begin to ripple and change and spin and turn, and you are... Where's this? There we go. Right
In the
in
room.
the clock tower.
Oh no. So we'll just let
This
out a
is not
heavy
where we
sigh.
left out.
And in front of you is the Mistress of Magic, with her hand
McGee.
on her face, kind of like in a "goddamn you exhaust me" to hell and back type of way.
I want a quick description of the room. Fenrir's looking around like this was not the exit to the building. Why are we here?
So,
Keck would know the room.
Keck would know the room, yes. Fenrir would know the room because he's been in there before. So, the room is laid out in a circle. There is a kind of step up and then her desk where she is sitting. Around the room are little podular rooms that all exude different elements. From light to dark, you got light, water, earth, fire. You have in the center, directly behind her, a more ever-changing mystical magic that is kind of just not attributed to a specific element. It's kind of like all other magic that isn't elemental. Then you have darkness, air, and yeah, each of those pods exhibit different things. Darkness and the other one have sheets of glass with very strong protective barriers to them, because those two are like the most dangerous. The other ones have protective barriers, but you can go into them if you wish. And you are standing right on the
This is
base
the-
floor.
This is the room with the stairway, and no window.
This is the room with the elevator and no way out.
Fenrir was looking for a way to just like immediately leave.
There is no way to immediately leave.
Just imagine you like just putting
Like,
one
if there
foot
was a
forward,
window, he'd be
spinning
crawling
on
out
the
of it.
spot and then walking. Nope.
Yeah. And she goes, "The mess I've had to clean up."
Well, yeah, no. We've seen real mess. Real mess.
Yeah. Would it have been too much to ask Nox to put all of the cultists to sleep?
You were not in that room. You didn't see how many there were.
How much power do you think I have?
I don't know. A lot.
I'm sorry, as a practitioner of magic myself, I take offense to even making putting that type of statement out there. There was too many. What we had to deal with in there, no.
Okay. Let's reverse gears here. The squid is dead, correct?
Won't survive that.
Good.
How many of us are below half HP? So noticeably wounded.
Not me.
Kelda is just
Nox.
standing there like nothing happened.
Nox
See
is
how-
half
Not
health.
a paper cut, it's fine.
Actually, this
Well,
is
they
a
hurt
good
the
question.
most though.
Temp HP would be gone by now, right?
Yeah.
Then Mason's down.
The Mason's down?
Close.
What?
Down to about
He was
half.
hanging on by a
Sorry, words
thread.
were really- Yeah. No, down to about half. He's at 30. So
Okay.
Also, you ignore the temp HP when looking at that calculation. It's like total HP out of total HP, current HP out of total HP. Just ignoring
Nox
temp.
is half health, so he's just bloodied.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah,
3 out of the
Mason's
4 of
near
us
blood.
look noticeably injured. Sounds like.
And they're all
Yep.
just giving her such a blank look.
yes, like the whole idea, just put them to sleep. That's like, what did
She-
you just say to us?
She snaps her fingers twice, and an attendant comes through, and she says, "Drink these. You'll feel better."
I mean, after her reaction, Nox is slightly suspicious, but then he's like, it couldn't get any worse.
They're health potions. Just drink them.
Fenrir is gonna like just look at the others and like, and in front of her, will just say loudly enough for her to hear, as like, "Do we trust this woman?"
Yeah, Mason's gonna examine to make sure what before he even takes a drink, he's gonna be examining
I
this
do want to
thing.
know how many they're handing out.
They're
It's
handing
just
out
the
enough
three
for
of
each of you.
I love it.
Like
mean,
maybe they
well.
give Kelda hers first, and she quickly pockets it, and as they come back along the line, she's like, I haven't had mine yet.
I'm sorry. I gave you yours. There's only enough for the 4 of you.
I haven't had one though. Did you miss
She
count?
doesn't need one.
He looks at you.
Bombastic side eye.
Please roll deception, please.
Absolutely.
How high of a deception do you need to gaslight
I got a
someone?
17.
I
just
don't
like,
know
"Oh,
what
it
happened, but I will
hurts."
have to go fetch another one.
Of course.
I will be back momentarily.
Gaslighting is not that hard, apparently.
I have a plus 10 to deception.
It's not that hard, especially when they roll a frickin' nat 10.
I would also
So
say,
yeah,
like,
no, I had the
in
whole
some
potion
I was
parts,
just
and
looking at-
it's
all
at
the
least
details.
reasonable to give advantage or disadvantage based on how absurd it is.
Alright,
She's
Either
just
that or
like looking at you with a raised eyebrow.
just give it a DC that's a difficulty that you think fits.
oh shit. I forgot to put the coin in. These are them right. Yep, okay.
But yeah, I would
Taking
love to
out
have
my
the details
bone
of that
dice.
Potion of healing, yeah.
My bone dice. Okay. You want to examine it. Go ahead and... What are you going to examine it with?
Well, I'm at least
I think I'd
for
probably just pass it to... I'll, like, sleight of hand it to Mason, because I know he's, like, better at magic, I guess.
The temptation to cast remove curse on it.
If I can do that.
Well, we all have one, so I assumed he was just going to look at
I'm
one of them
definitely
and
not
assume that they
casting
didn't
Dispel
poison
Magic on
exactly one health potion.
You're going to cast Dispel Magic on it.
I said I'm definitely not going to do that.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I guess I'd just keep it in my bag for later.
Okay. You can put
No,
down
he's
one
just
health
gonna-
potion.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mason's gonna make sure, like, he's probably, drank a lot and seen, like, different poisons and potions throughout his 10 years as a detective. So, just more like, does this look like a health potion? Kind of, I
Yes.
guess.
Nox just shrugs and necks it.
Yes. And I believe. There's no actual like health potion. All right. I was
What do you
looking at
mean
there's
there's
an
no health
actual
potion?
like item for health potion, but there isn't. So
Potion of healing.
Potion of
these
Yeah,
healing.
there are potions of healing and there are multiple
Oh.
sizes.
potions of healing.
Yeah, it's called Potion of Healing as opposed to Health Potion.
Yeah,
Why?
Because
I don't know.
that's what it's written as in the book.
fancier.
And it's not Google. They don't have the craziest search engines.
Yeah.
Sure. This is a greater health potion. So, 4d4 plus 4.
So, a load of fours.
Okay, fine. Guess I'll have one.
And Mason, just looking at it's like, yeah, this, safe to drink.
I wish it would tell
I
me.
mean, I imagine when the new one comes up and I drink it,
It
it
rolled
just
the
goes.
dice, but it didn't actually say.
4d4 plus 4, only
It
11
says it on mine.
points.
It says 8.
Okay, mine just
Yeah,
rolled the
4d4
dice and it
plus
didn't
4.
actually say the outcome.
It told me the outcome, which was 8.
Just that plus 4
fine.
really gets me back to full health.
Excuse me.
Do not waste that greater health potion, I swear to God.
That means only on down
I
people.
mean, the one that they then bring me, because I
Here
already
you
have
go,
I will
madame.
heal you. Do not waste it.
He holds it directly out to you, making direct eye contact as he puts it in your hand.
Thank you so
I-
much.
I am no longer bloodied after that. But anyone's still bloodied.
With regards to Kelda, at the end of the fight, I still had my Aura of Vitality up, so would have just topped you off before you shut it off.
So I'm fully at health when we leave, and I look fine.
How long
But
does
they
that
gave
Wouldn't have
me the
PvP
potion
expended the
last.
last?
energy to top everyone else up because it would have been too much, but
So-
Yeah, how much? Like, does your ability say how long that temp HP lasts? By default, it goes into long rest, but I thought it was meant.
temp
like-
HP.
Or is that what you're talking about, or?
No, I was on about the spell Aura of Vitality.
Which actually
Healing
heals.
one I was healing you guys with.
Okay, that makes sense.
Temp HP though.
Anywho, she goes, well, now that you feel marginally better,
Doesn't
I
say how
have
fast.
some unpleasant news. An assassin took out the assistant headmaster.
For a moment, Nox looks really shifty, and then he remembers it wasn't him.
Everyone's
Nox.
gonna be like,
What did you
Uh,
do?
is that so easy?
It was alive when I left him.
Benro will also look at Nox and be like, wait, the time we visited him together?
Yes. He's like looking at everyone, like egging them on to be like, he was alive when we left him.
I know
When
it
you
wasn't
say it-
the four of you because you were fighting the squid at the time.
And when you say it like that, it makes it sound like we left him for dead. We barely got out.
It's true.
So your defense, like, what protections were in place to avoid this?
There are protections in place for the headmaster, not for the
Oh, I
assistant
see. The
headmaster.
lackeys don't matter.
Well, the protections shift over to the assistant headmaster if the headmaster were to die or were to leave the university on official business. It only works within the bounds of the university. These protections are insanely powerful and are very, very specific.
Do you have any leads?
As for the assassin, no. They left nothing. They killed him with his own trap, actually.
So we're certain that it
One
was the
from
killer.
the safe?
Yes, the safe.
Surely he knew how to turn that off.
He does know how to turn that off. Except the assassin somehow knew how to turn it off and change what turns it off.
Locksmith assassin.
A
That's
Yeah,
almost
there's
looks
certain
impressive.
very
it was
intelligent assassin.
It was absolutely impossible for it to have been an accident.
As for who it is, who knows? Because they're gone in the wind. Left no traces, left no magical residue, nothing.
I wonder if it was the bull.
Why though? Aren't they? Isn't he like under their thumb?
Maybe we got more information out of him than we should have, and they somehow knew that.
I didn't know them to be so ruthless. At least not internally.
Sorry, they're trying to sacrifice an entire city. And you don't think they're ruthless?
Internally, there's two different groups to attack outsiders and
Well,
punish
bear
your
in
own
mind
for
that
failures.
this may have been a contingency plan had one of the two been found. If we found the bull, maybe the squid would have assassinated the assistant headmaster instead.
It also makes me wonder if they wanted someone dead who's under their control. Did they have no way to set that up without a physical killer? Maybe they gave him this protection and it's just set to go off the wrong way with a distant word.
Unfortunately, for you all, whilst I was spying on you, for lack of a better word,
Flat luck.
the bull was in the room with you at one point.
Fly on the wall.
Sort of. In a way, yes. But he was also there at the time of the murder, so who really knows? One thing for certain, though, the assistant headmaster did make a lot of enemies. So it could have been a whole number of people, including anyone who resides within the Kraken's Republic.
Wait, you saw the bull.
And you said nothing?
Well, she saw him just now.
I
Do
saw
you-
him after you all were nearly dead.
She just admitted she was watching the fight and she saw him in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Do
saw
you
us
have a
fi-
physical description?
That's your go-to.
Come on, we just need anything. A name that's not even a name is not enough.
He was.
What does he smell like?
I don't know. That the scrying doesn't give me that.
I'll take literally anything.
He was a minotaur.
That's a little on the nose.
That is,
Yeah.
I honestly,
You're
I
telling
buy
me.
it. The other
Turn
one is
into a
called
pack.
Druid. I buy it.
But the aura was unmistakable. He was definitely either the bull or someone just as powerful as who you were facing.
Have I ever seen a Minotaur or interacted with one in any sense?
No. You have no idea what a minotaur looks like.
No, I'm sure.
Horny
I'm
boy.
sure he's know what they look like. Like people have heard of what a kraken is, even if they haven't seen one.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
But I'm wondering, like, one, were there any in No Man's Land, and two, is the Minotaur a regular race that just kind of wanders around one of these nations?
So, minotaurs mainly reside within the Tyr Empire. They mainly stick to themselves. They don't normally go out, mainly because they're pretty ostracized throughout this part of the continent, because they are literal bulls in china shops when it comes to anything. Like, their horns can be as wide as city streets.
What's their size? Is because Theros and
I'm
Forgotten Realms do have
Pretty
two
sure
different
they're
sizes.
medium.
In Theros, they're medium. In Forgotten Realms, they're large. Because in Theros, they're a race that you can be, and in Forgotten Realms, they're a monster. that you can fight.
Minotaur. They are. I'm looking it up right now in the official rule set. So give me 1 second. Creature
Where are you looking
type,
at it from? Because yeah, it depends on.
humanoid. They're medium.
Okay,
Size
so
medium.
you're using the humanoid from Theros.
I'm using the humanoid type one. Yeah, that's in let me look at the book. That's in the multiverse book.
Yeah, the race.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's a monster manual one that's just a stat block.
No, I'm using the
Okay.
race.
So the ones in this world are people sized.
Yeah, they're actual people. Like, they have within the Tyr Empire is they have their own like city state in the Tyr Empire where they govern their own section of the empire type thing.
All right. Okay. So now I know what we're talking about. The
Yeah.
City is called Ranch.
There, if I go, I think I put this in Kelda. If I
Yeah,
go into locations, and if I go into Tyr Empire, nothing's there. Oh, that's great. I wrote it down somewhere. So the Tyr Empire is broken up into several states, as you will. It's kind of structured in the way of the U.S., but not really. So the Tyr Empire has different states that are governed by like a singular race. Like there's one for the Leonin, there's one for the Minotaur, there's one for the. I have to look at the races again because I
little on the nose
forget.
with that U.S. inspiration, segregation, and all.
There's ones for scrolling.
Okay, I was thinking more
For
melting pot
the,
and segregation. But okay.
For the rabbit people, which I can't say their name at all. You get the point though. Yeah, that one. There's different tabaxis have their own.
Funny boys.
So the way that it works is pretty much like the U.S., where each state has its own governing body. The unique thing about the Tyr Empire is that there is a sort of competition that pits emperor candidates against each other. And whoever wins, that is where the capital is now. So if 1 year it's the Leonins that win, and the next time the Minotaur wins, the physical capital of the nation, of the empire, moves to within the Minotaur's domain.
And by that you mean a city that is already in that state.
Yeah,
is
the
named-
capital of that state. So the way that it works is in each capital of that state, they have their own castle that is as grand as each other. They all look a little bit differently to highlight their own like traits and
Yeah,
whatnot.
I was only clarifying to be like, you said that the capital physically moved, and we're in a fantasy setting.
Oh, no,
It is
no, no,
possible
no.
for a city to literally
not,
move.
not like that. But the way that it's structured is a little neat in that is a castle. There is a main throne for the emperor. There is a secondary throne for the representative of that state that would go to the emperor every now and again. No one can sit in the main throne except for the emperor. To do so is treason. Fucking cut head off type thing. The only person who can sit on the throne next to the emperor is that state's advisor, who is the final say on anything like state related. Like if there's like a small skirmish within the state's advisor would deal with that outcome and stuff. It wouldn't be, the emperor has more loftier things to worry about, such as the entirety of the emperor of the empire and not just that small little skirmish that happened on 42nd Street in this specific city of this specific state. They don't have time for all that.
He's gonna be like, that is something, and then he's just going to like, I need a nap. It's gonna like sit down.
Floor drop.
Other than that, I really don't have any more information for you all. Do you have any information that could help me by chance, or something that you need me to do?
For the assassin?
I have people looking into that already.
What do you need?
I honestly don't need any help with that. I have the best
Oh
people
yeah,
looking
what
into
do you
that.
need? You ask if we have information. What do you need?
There's one thing that I could think of that we got out of the assistant headmaster before he died at someone else's hands.
Mhm.
He said that wording, I believe, was precise in that train is key.
When he was teasing you on not knowing the specifics of the ritual.
That's the one thing he did give away, and I think it's not to be overlooked.
He could be using the secret passageways.
I mean, it's partly how we found some of their some of their operations is we managed to find an underground area near the station.
What was this country doing before it became this, to have so many underground passageways?
This part of the nation. Let me look at the whole. I need to look at the whole grand scheme of the map really quickly.
At
Just so that
this
I
point,
can-
Fenrir is asking questions, and he
Look
is
at
just laying on the ground.
So this bit of the nation was the middle part of the Dwarven Empire. This whole northern face, actually, the kingdoms, the Theocracy, the Kingdom of Alexandria, Kraken's Republic, the University, and the Kingdom of Born were all part of the Dwarven Empire. There was a Dwarven Empire which I cannot remember the name of at this very moment. But
That's just very in character, I like it.
they, after the Black Tower event, the Empire became unstable because a lot of the undead, a lot of the goblins and things went through the Dwarven Empire and were subsequently put down there. But before they were able to fully be put down, the Dwarven Empire broke into pieces. And so a lot of the secret passageways and things throughout all of the kingdoms that I mentioned are actually old mining tunnels. So whilst some have reinforced, looking over at Kelda, while some have
Kelda looks extremely
reinforced
innocent.
some of the passageways by using them for sewers, for using them for secret train lines,
Nasty cough you got
for the
there.
train
Does not
rides
react. He
themselves.
does not react at all.
There are
Kelda's just holding
also
a celestial
other secret
familiar puppy.
passageways that are completely blocked off. Some of the train routes cut off certain sections of old mining tunnels that we don't actually know if anything's in there. Because they're cut off from literally the rest of the country. Where like two lines go in parallel, they can cut off sections of mines.
So that means this country likely has lost or some tunnels that happen to go into those likewise neighboring nations.
Yes, very much so.
He's just thinking.
Full smoke tendrils coming out his ears.
Do you guys have any information for her?
Gave him my information.
Not that I can think of.
Nope.
Alright, then I guess I don't really have anything else for you. I thought you should know. I would avoid Admin City for a while.
I think.
Oh. Kelda.
All
Hello.
heads turn to Kelda.
I had a package dropped off here
Yeah.
for you. I don't know what it is. Honestly.
Do you know where it was from?
All it says is from an admirer. I should look at your character sheet.
Kelda is slightly confused.
Yeah, who would
Well-
like such a shifty halfling?
Well, in my
But,
line of profession, that usually means one of two things. Either something really good, really bad, or sometimes both.
Yeah, it's along the lines of what she's thinking. She's like, She's thinking along the lines of, who do I know that would label themselves an admirer other than my wife,
Could be.
who is apparently imprisoned at the moment?
Could be her. Like a little message.
Yeah, maybe. All right. I'd be happy to take that off your hands. Thank you so much for holding that for me. I'm sorry to bother you with that.
Okay. I'm just looking at other things, making sure that it is fitting.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Okay. Go back to your sheet. Alright, so you open the box. Or you open this package and you uncover this nicely wooden box with the symbol of your parents' mafia.
Oh, wonderful. I did have like an idea that it might be from them.
You open the box and there is a small card written in thieves' cant. Underneath of it is a nicely wrapped thing inside the box with some like silk.
I definitely go for the note first.
The note says, "We found this and we thought it might help. Yours truly, Mother." As you unwrap...
I don't think I unwrap it while we're in the tower.
Okay.
You know, plausible deniability and also, you know, authority figure. Don't necessarily want them to know what my mother is sending me.
Okay.
So I just kind of turn and say, oh, it's from my mother. I'll open this at home. Thank you so much.
Alright. So, you guys go down the elevator. And...
This is much less suspicious, he says, as it just gets within earshot of random people.
As you go down, the receptionist looks over to you all and says, "When did you go up?"
When you was on your break. Or we wiped our shoes before we got in.
Why are there blood all over your shoes? Why are you tracking blood everywhere?
Hey,
I think
blood...
that is a leading question. And he starts to walk away.
Kelda just rolls her eyes and says, men.
Nox just shrugs as he
waves
walks
her
past and
hand.
says, "It's not my fault people bleed."
She waves her hand, and the blood sort of like... It's kind of like... How do I put this? It's kind of like flaking paint, where it like flakes away into the air and all of your shoes and everything and drifts outside as she cleans off your feet. And she goes, "Don't let it happen again."
Alright, now sleep. We were up literally all night.
Alright. And I assume you guys don't go all the way back to your hideout, you go back to the dorm. Because that would be quicker. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
seems
we're
sensible.
told to avoid Admin City.
Yep.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys go back into your dorm. You all take sleep anywhere you could. On the floor, on a bed.
Before
Wherever.
she goes to sleep, she will look in the package.
As you unwrap it, you gain, and go ahead and reload your character sheet. In the package is a Hellfire dagger.
Ooh. Give me my stuff. Would you like me to read it out?
No, don't have
Okay.
to. If you'd like to attune to it, you can right now.
Absolutely.
Alright, so you take an hour and you attune
Yeah,
to
after
it.
that hour,
After that
Mason
hour,
probably, Mason kind of knock on the door, be like, "So that wasn't a bomb?"
No, it was a gift. And I kind of show off my new knife. Isn't it wonderful?
There's a thing that I got on my back as he points to the rapier.
Awesome.
No, it is not.
Kelda,
Yes.
when you unwrapped it, it wasn't very secretly, so Mason, you would know that that package came from her family.
I mean, I did say it came from my mother.
Yes. But
Hey,
Mason,
what do
you
you
know?
know?
It came from
Yeah.
her mother.
Yes.
I wasn't lying.
Yep.
Wink,
The
wink. You know more.
package came from a very far place. Seems.
Yeah. I do love my family.
That's good. Don't really got much of a connection to mine anymore. My only quote-unquote family is... Well, I don't know if I'll ever see her again. Well, maybe one day I will. It's up to the cards of fate. So, blah blah, cherishers, blah blah blah. You've heard the usual spiel.
Yeah. The thing I was crying on Fenrir about is actually my wife. He mentions she's currently imprisoned. She went missing a while back, so I get it. But
Oh.
yeah, my family is large and extensive, you might say.
Yeah.
I kind of wink at him.
Well, and before I joined this group, I was, well, really in all honesty, I still am a detective. I'm good at finding people. So, if you can find anything, I'll send it your way, of course, first thing.
Thank you. I was actually thinking of contacting my parents about. I know she said she didn't need any help about it, but she did mention the Kraken's Republic, so I thought I might see if my family knows anything about that.
Yeah. I gotta say, the irony of what we just fought and where your family is, not lost on
know.
me.
Well, I managed to get some
Believe
hits in at the
coincidence.
beginning.
Yeah. I can maybe see if we ever get close to where your wife is. Well, I have a certain set of skills that allow me to get in contact with people who are not of this plane. So I can get some leads from other beings that those things people in the mortal plane do not know. So,
Wonderful. I did want to ask,
yes.
you know, background to background.
Sure.
The gem that Nox has.
Steal it.
Kind of torn between new friends and
Shiny.
family matters.
Well, to be honest, it was actually Fenrir that I first got into with all this. I mean, I'm pretty cordial with Nox, but I literally don't know too much about him. I mean, I've seen what you're referring to,
Yeah.
but because it's so close to him, I never really felt like it was right of me to examine it.
I would like
So
to
I don't-
say that Fenrir is actively sleeping in the living room, and the rags he used as clothes are basically blankets right now.
Oh, I bet Mason's familiar's just sleeping on top of him. Just this like white little owl, just like perched up, feathers floofed out, just on top. But
You both can easily sneak a look at him, and he will not notice.
but no, I don't know too much about his crystal.
Unfortunately, I do. And that's where the tear comes in.
As Mason just kind of sits down real quick to kind of relax.
Yeah.
Alright. As he just kind of gets out a notebook and just starts writing a little bit in a pseudo code so they don't have to want to talk
Yeah.
like this.
Sounds like a plan. One thing that might be slightly easier. Yeah, I just cast message.
Right. Kind of nods
needs a-
like this works
Yeah.
too.
So through message, I kind of explain like
Do I
what
want to take
I
this
do know.
down?
Hmm?
Just the three of us?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. We'll be right back.
There you are.
Still got the
Yep.
starry background.
Yeah, so Kelda kind of goes to explain, yeah, that crystal he's got belongs to my family in a way. And they're actively searching for it. And I haven't told them that I know where it is. And I don't know if I should at this point.
Yeah, Mason just kind of just nods his head like, yep, this is quite the pickle you're in.
Yeah.
As Mason will kind of get a bit closer and just kind of more like whisper, look, we're in a lot of big problems. Whole world having problems. If you want my honest opinion, we may just have to push it off till for as long as we can, because, well, you saw what we just fought.
Mm.
Look, I have no idea about that crystal or what it means to him, but if he needs it, he needs it. And well, it's not like Nox can go around walking normally.
Exactly.
Heck, I could maybe, I don't know. Maybe I can find a way to get like a replacement for him or something. I don't know. I'll see what I can do on my end, like to see if there's something I can do.
I'd appreciate it if you could.
Yeah.
Kelda, something that you had just mentioned to him because of that, the crystal that he has is exceedingly rare.
Yeah.
Like this thing in the right hand could cost like a couple thousand platinum, kind of rare. So it might be difficult to find some like replacement or some like copy or something. it could be very difficult because they normally have identifying markers and stuff to verify that this is legitimate.
Yeah. I do think, for the drama of it all, Kelda's going to draft a letter in Thieves' Cant to her family along the lines of, I found a lead on the crystal, keeping an eye on it. Dealing with it covertly. That kind of, it's just a draft at this point,
Mm-hmm.
but she wants to have, like, if anything is pushed around it, she can have something that she's jotted down to send, to the heads of family, saying she's on it. It's not being ignored.
Mm-hmm. All right. With that, let's go back up.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys have your nice little chat. Fender and Nox, you guys sleep?
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty
nap,
much.
power nap.
All right. I'm gonna be benevolent and say that this is a long rest for everyone.
Whoa.
All right.
The result makes me suspicious.
Being nice. It was a very hard fight last time.
It's like, take the win,
I
damn
mean, you have
it!
to remember a short rest if it's our first one of the day, can bring us from like 0 HP to full,
Yeah,
and
'cause of all
depending
the
on our
hit dice.
class, might give us back nearly everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I would also say like it's not too crazy. We also did like interrupt our sleep in the middle of the night and technically hadn't long rest today yet. So even if we just sleep from that point until 8 hours later, yeah.
So, you all are back. Magic Citadel. Alright, you guys are now back here. Do you guys want to do anything whilst you're here?
Finally getting up and stretching, will be like, oh yeah, it's still today. It really feels like the next day.
Yeah, and as Fenrir gets up, he just sees a small little owl just fall off and bloop.
Pat, pat, pat. Well, if we got one good thing going today, maybe we can get another. I guess we don't have anything yet, but at least we have a description and reason to think the bull wouldn't have left yet. Eh?
That one's harder to know whether he would have left Nat already or not. Sounded like their business was pretty much concluded.
Well, we have to search, don't we? Unless we're so uncertain of where they are compared to the next one that it's worthwhile to skip it.
All the evidence we had pointed towards what we stopped. After that, I'm not so sure where to go.
Now we have if we know what we're looking for, perhaps we can get new leads. Oh, I'm uncertain exactly where it will bring us. It's a larger starting point than we had last time.
Pretty sure if we just go around asking people if they've seen a Minotaur, it might get us unwanted attention.
Well, I mean, you just need to know the right spots to talk. Gossip's one of those things of, if you just know who to talk to, people won't ask questions.
Not to just give
As
you a completely
I will
flat
give you
look, like,
all a note. The university is a melting pot for literally like all races. Anyone's able to come here. There are like no restrictions to it. So there are going to be Minotaurs here in the city or in other parts of the university. So just letting you know.
so it's not that specific.
We still have like
Yeah.
that at least narrows it down a lot. It was better than when it was just vaguely a humanoid, probably.
Yeah. Mason just kind of huffs. Really wish we had some reinforcements sent our way after having to deal with that issue, quote unquote. Keeping an eye on us, but not doing jack.
I guess
Well-
I'm used to that. Town guards don't tend to have much surplus for existential threats.
Well, we now know we're looking for literally a Minotaur, but we ain't got any descriptors. We ain't got much, so
We
it's
do
a
know
less big haystack.
we know what side of the nation he was known on. We also know that they tend to stay underground. That they
Mhm.
were not often in the same place as the squid. We do also know that at least during us stopping the ritual, he was close enough to come by immediately. So he started there. Where would you all go? You needed to get something from deadly opponents, and you sneak by them. Where next?
For want of better words, I would go underground. Keep a low
Keep on
profile
hiding.
for a while.
If he considers his home base still safe, perhaps he would head back. Unless something required his immediate attention.
Nox would look towards Elder and say, if you had just scored a big heist, you had to cover a significant distance quickly but quietly, how would you go about it?
She kind of really sighs and is like thinking to herself, this is important. And there is a rogue here. So if I just tell him and the others can hear me, he's like trying to get around it. So she just turns straight to Mason and is like, so, Mason, there is a series of tunnels that only those in the rogue classes use, and can't tell anyone else about, Mason. And, as someone with a familiar background, Mason, I feel like you should know about them if you don't already.
Mason doesn't.
Well-
He never attended the university.
No,
Yeah.
he did not. He's in a small village, and any like heist that
Get you,
happened,
boy.
it'd be Well, no, it's more like it's a case of like if he had to steal, he'd be going through alleys or rooftops. He would not think underground.
Yeah. But
Street
she is
cred.
He is like
very,
he-
like, obviously saying, I cannot tell the others this.
Got
So
visions of her
pretending I'm
standing there, like,
here.
winking
Uh,
really
I-
obviously.
I'll say
And
because of my
Mason.
staring
passive
at this.
Look at me
I think just with
winking.
my passive insight, he'd be able to kind of get like what she's hinting at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
safe to assume.
As like, well, what did we learn from? What did we learn yesterday? Let's see. There's a bunch of different. This used to be related to, dwarven mines. So possibly instead of us looking up top, how about we keep looking down below? Maybe there's
Sounds like a great plan.
there's some passages or some different ways that we haven't found yet. Let's start looking. As Mason's just kind of like looking like, really, like he couldn't say anything to Kelda.
Kelda's just kind of just like, snitches get stitches. I gotta work around it best I can.
Fenrir's just
Morose
gonna.
is on the table and he's kind of like, well, maybe the library has maps of the old mining tunnels.
I'm curious what has been said in front of us.
Basically, Mason just says like, that what we learned yesterday that there used to be like old mining tunnels. So instead of looking up top, let's keep looking down below.
Yeah. What did Kelda say? I thought Kelda just straight up mentioned tunnels. But
No,
maybe
Yeah,
this
I
is
think-
no, this is just
Uh,
like yeah. Go ahead.
What did Kelda actually say?
Kind of along the lines of, hey Mason, there's something I need to tell you, and just goes to message, is like, I can't say it out loud, you say it.
Yeah,
There's some
it's
rogue specific tunnels that we're not supposed to tell others about.
Okay.
But if they
I
find out
thought you
about
said
them
that part
otherwise-
out loud.
No.
Also, message you still whisper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still whisper. Like it's not psychic. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I've
Mason's
whispered it, so Fenrir could probably hear.
Yeah.
Fenrir's just gonna like look blankly at you two. He's like, Kelda, I have killed a lot of people. You don't need to worry about me being buddy with guards.
It's not. It's not that, Fenrir. It's a case of this is her home. If word ever gets out of what she says to the right people, she'll be in trouble. It doesn't matter if it's the guards. It's other people besides guards.
Yeah, the guards are the least of my worries. I can take on a guard.
It's just it's a city thing, friend. It's a city thing.
I suppose.
Anyway.
Well, I did have another thought. It sounded like from the magical lady's words that they captured a bunch of the servants. Do you think they've learned nothing about where their leaders worked?
Probably not. And if not, information gathering through physical means can sometimes take a minute. So, it could take a day, it could take a week. Some people are just harder to crack.
If you're a terrorist, it can take years.
Alright. If you think that we can find a viable location on our own easier than getting it out of any of them,
I mean, Fenrir, how good are you at forceful information gathering?
He'll like think a little bit. You know, I had a lot of situations in mind, but I guess I just stole stuff from them.
Yeah, it's more of a case of you want to put on the pressure, but you don't want to break them. So
How good
It
are
also
you at
helps to have a
controlling your
lot of
strength?
people.
Okay.
It also helps to have a lot of people.
In Fenrir's case, it's good to have 3 times the amount of people you need. Just in case. Oops, I broke your face and now you're dead. Well, on to the next person.
All right. Shall we stick together for this gathering then?
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
What, like, as I assume we're getting ready to head out, Fenrir's gonna try and get a moment with Kilda without others being, like, literally in the conversation right that second. If they wanted to overhear, they probably could. But, like, just not while everyone, not in conversation with everyone, he'll mention to her, it's like, oh, Kilda. I know some of the others might be jealous from their injuries, but I just wanted to mention that you fight well. Thank you.
Thank you. I was a bit worried, seeing as I came out of that fight with little to no injury, and everyone else was quite bad off.
I'm used to
Yeah.
being the only one in the thick of it, and I appreciated your support when it worked, and I noticed when it no longer worked.
Yeah, I mean, I have a magical weapon now, which is great. But not having one at the time, yeah, kind of put me out of the fight a bit too much.
It's another thing to run into a fight without any means of winning it. I don't blame you for not being suicidal, even if I am. He'll just like chuckle a little bit. He's like, but I do mean it. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And Kelda does, kind of hug him from what she can, because, tiny.
Hugs the big leg. And he'll just like pat. Okay. And then I picture people are ready to head out.
Oh yeah, Mason's just chilling by the door. He's plucking some of the feathers off his owl familiar, just like, sleep good, buddy. Got a lot of dust on you. And some fur.
Kelda sees that it is a little bit sad. Doesn't say anything, just looks a little bit sad.
Alright, where do you guys want to go throughout the city? You got the main
we said
event
library,
square,
right?
you got the different markets.
Library, it sounded like.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We said library, right?
Yeah.
Well, Morose said library for maps.
Yeah, we could. That was the thing we ended up on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
you
is it like,
guys-
does anybody need to do anything else besides that?
Then we'll look at his things and nah.
There's nothing Nox needs to do.
Yeah, so probably just the library for maps.
So you all go into the library, and the assistant goes, "Oh, I see you're not tracking blood onto the floor this time."
Be arranged.
I could get red paint this time.
She looks at you with like a death glare, like, "Just try it. Just try it.
Henry
I will
chuckles.
murder you so quickly." What can I help you find?
Old maps of the what side of the nation was he on? I think in character we learned this like yesterday, but
Yeah, let me got notes. Let me find the right ones. It's not that one. They're in the notes from my old notebook, so.
Maps of the old,
The east
so yeah,
of Admin City.
old maps of
Or just the east.
what used to be the or what this nation was before, covering the east of the current borders. I don't know how you organize it, if it's by area or by what.
Well, they're all lumped into one section, so give me 1 second. She flips through records and things. She goes, that's interesting. Give me 1 moment. She fiddles through, different things. And she goes, that can't be right. And she fiddles through something else and she goes, do you have permission?
From who?
Apparently, these are in the restricted area of the library. You're gonna need
Historical
permission
maps.
to get into there.
All right, I suppose. Who can we get permission from?
Any of the professors, also, well, any of the professors, really. They'll be the ones to talk to. I suppose the mistress would be able to do it as well, but I'm sorry. I can't really do much. I'm bound by what it is. It's over in the restricted area.
All right then. I suppose that's a dead end. He's gonna make to start walking away.
Morose hops onto the counter and whispers something into her ear. And she goes, "Oh, I see.
Talking cat. Hmm.
Well
Yep, you're
then,
going straight into the oddities section.
I'll file you in the oddities, and you may all proceed into the restricted area." And
Probably
Morose
just, like,
hops back onto
Some proper
Nox's
shifty
shoulder.
threatened to kill her.
But, Fenrir, only a volume loud enough to be, like, genuine surprise. Like, wait, really? We don't have to sneak in?
I'd like to see you try to sneak in.
Please
She
don't
scoffs
test
at
me.
you.
Shrug. Who doesn't even know how this place works?
She pulls like a lever next to her, and a gate opens on one end of the room and says, "You can proceed."
Oh yeah, Fenrir will walk in.
Zelda is doing the same.
All right, so as you go through the doorway, you are transported into the library restricted section, which is just wall to walls lined in books and things. It's like a singular hallway, except it never ends.
Never ending hallway.
The never ending story.
Okay.
Now that we got our nostalgia out.
Is she gonna show us where it is?
She gave Morose a card, which he gave to Nox, which has
Just
a
holding it
section
in his
and
mouth.
a thing to it. As you get to that section, there's a bunch of rolled up maps and whatnot just on a shelf. And as you take them and bring them over, you notice that a lot of the pathways are kind of odd.
Just in between that, Fenrir's gonna mention. Rose, what kind of magic did you work on her?
I didn't work any type of magic.
I don't trust cats.
That's not much of an explanation.
Well, the cat lady told me a specific thing to get anything I wanted.
Sounds like magic to me.
That just
Not
sounds
at
like being
all.
a cat.
It's simply identifying yourself as one of her familiars.
Wait, did she go here?
The cat lady? She's gone now, but not many people know that.
Honestly, I didn't think she was here legally.
Sort of a gray area.
Kelda just kind of looks at him side-eye and define legal.
You know, like, didn't sneak in. Was that a plane?
Helicopter.
Okay. I thought it was like near me, but then it just stopped the moment it got below a certain volume.
No, that was me.
Morose continues, the cat lady is just more of a gray area when it comes to laws.
Shrug. Like,
Laws are can be a guideline sometimes.
More suggestions?
More gray than
Really?
all right then. I guess they've pulled out the maps and looked at it and noticed something weird.
that. Yes.
General will ask.
Nox, you notice it first out of everyone else. As you notice that there is a center point for all of the tunnels. You've been here before. It's
was
the
your
place
room in
where
the
they
dorm.
tortured you. In the ruins.
Oh, so I thought that was in the Theocracy of the Savior.
It was.
I also thought that was
But-
west.
Back then, it wasn't the Theocracy of the Saviors. I have to bring up an older map, so give me 1 second to get the exact name of the city. One moment, please. Map OG1 has all of these lovely, lovely layers that we hate. Oh, I meant that was the. Ooh, I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. What the name of the city was. Because I didn't write it down. Oh, wait, yes, I did. It's in my old notes. It was within the city of, Fenrir, do you remember off the top of your head by any chance?
No.
The,
Names of cities is definitely not the type of thing that I remember.
ruins. Brat. On all these maps, the city of Brat is labeled as if it was a capital city. A place of importance. And you notice that all mining tunnels lead back to that city. No matter how far they branch out, they all lead back there. To where they tortured you, Amoros.
Yeah, he'd just pretty much slam his finger down right on the point. Go, it's there. Guarantee it.
You think he fled the nation? I presume that point is not under what's currently the university.
Nope.
Yeah, so Fenrir's question is, you think he fled the nation?
The Kingdom of the Saviors is behind most of this. It would make sense that they would escape the university once they'd got what they needed, or failed to do so. Especially since their cover is blown.
Yeah. Which, thank God, we was able to stop that.
And this spot right here is pivotal to everything they do.
Makes as much sense as anything else. That's where we were going next anyways, right? You had something to do with a wand or other?
Yes. Well, this chamber is where I was made.
Made.
It's a long story.
I forget how much of it Fenrir knows.
Probably not much,
Not a lot.
actually.
Not a lot.
Yeah, no. Honestly, Mason's just surprised to hear the word "made" be used.
I'm only struggling because I have another character who knows quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
trying to separate what I know from what Fenrir knows.
So we got plenty of time to talk, I guess. Like, how far is it currently, like, travel-wise? As player is asking.
Um.
Well, that depends how are we going in, and Fenrir will
Yes.
ask that next.
Yeah.
You think
From
that we should try to take the path we think they took, or meet them there?
there are
Get another
a
path.
bunch of different pathways, so you do not know exactly what path he could have taken.
Yeah, but he generally means should we go from tunnels like that he might have taken, or should we do something else?
You can see that, like,
Traveling from where he went to there just on foot would be days.
does it actually cross into the border of the theocracy?
Well, especially if we want to go at it from the east, like we suspected that our target would have.
Does it actually cross into the border of the theocracy?
The tunnels? Yes.
And the destination that he pointed to is in the theocracy, I presume.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everyone would need the relevant protection,
Yes.
which means
The protection that you know of. Kelda.
I've got,
and-
but none of the other three have anymore.
Yeah. Kelda and Mason, you two are loosely aware of it. Fenrir, trying to think.
Probably heard next to nothing unless it just happened to have come up.
Yeah,
Since
you probably
he's not-
wouldn't
He lived
know
in
like
Hermitville.
anything.
Mostly because he doesn't know much of anything about magic in general.
Yeah. So Kelda and Mason, you know that there is a magical barrier protecting the theocracy that is able to mess with people's minds. And that's the extent of what you know.
Basically American.
Then if Mason knows at least this, he's gonna probably ask, so if trying to get there, like how in the heck are we supposed to get there if it could possibly mess with our minds? That's all I've heard about it.
Knox would take a chain, a chain or a ring? No, Knox would hold up his hand, and there's a ring on his middle finger on his right hand.
That's
He says, "You're all going to need one of these." Helps ward off the effects of the
Why is
crystals. in
magic
that
never
world.
simple?
Looking at the ring, I do want to ask if, because of the Kraken Republic's history with the theocracy, would she have heard any advice from the family on if it was needed to go in there?
No.
Okay. It's worth asking.
But guys will need to do first. One of all is Nox's house is still built in the forest.
That's relatively easy. Deciding how we're gonna go
Yeah.
there seems like
You guys are gonna need the rings and someone to make them.
Oh, last time it was was it the Artificers or the Rogues Guild who did it last time?
Last time, if I'm not mistaken, it was either the Cat Lady or Yen Sidric that gave them to you.
Yen.
I think it was one of those two people. I don't think I have it written down, but I'm
Yeah, I was
pretty
thinking of
sure-
the crystals that change our appearance. That was
the crystals
Artificer,
that change your appearance. That was the Artificer. That's the one who upgraded yours too. When you went back into that the forges.
I wonder if he would sort of muse aloud. Both of the individuals who are capable of crafting something like this are gone. But I do wonder if our resident head of magic may be able to turn her abilities to it.
does she have a reason to help us?
And does she have a reason to not?
I mean, we just helped save a city.
She's the one who's thrust us into this. He says, completely ignoring the fact that he's pivotal to all this crap.
There's nothing at all to do with me.
Everyone turns and looks at Kelda.
What?
Like, you just somehow swipe the owl and you just look innocent holding this, like, cute little white owl.
It reminds me of my wife's familiar, okay? Feel of
I wonder
Hey,
where that
nothing.
was going then. Like, is your wife an owlin? And then you said familiar.
Part the familiar, yeah.
Well, he's usually a weasel, but it's a lot of, recon we've had to do. I've decided just to leave him like this.
Hers was a frog.
Ribbit.
The thing about familiars, you don't have to worry about warts.
Ribbit. Anyways, where you guys? Where are you gonna go up to? The Mistress of Magic.
Yeah, I guess the first thing to do before we go hunting for the materials, because the materials may be different for her to make one to how the others were made, so he would basically present it to her.
So as you go up and as you show her and tell her that you're gonna need like 3 more of these. She looks at you and goes, why are you coming to me?
Well, the last person who held your position is the one who made them. Figured you
And-
were just as useful.
Where are the others?
What do you mean, where are the others?
Well, you said made them. There's only one ring.
These.
Question. When a particular individual had an unfortunate and completely accidental run-in with a demon,
Not suspicious at all.
Very. The 2 players who have no clue what's going on. Very non-suspicious. questions at all.
I thought that was very well worded, actually. Would we've got any items back?
I thought he just vanished like poof.
Or was he, like, consumed
He was consumed wholly.
entirely?
Like just absolutely nothing left.
Yeah.
It was worth a stretch.
He was consumed by the hole.
By the hole.
Don't worry, it was metaphorical.
Kinda. In the same way that a black hole is not actually a hole.
Exactly.
It's an orb.
It's not actually an
Anyway.
orb at all either. So, black holes are weird. Okay.
Dimensional hole.
It's not
Yeah, 'cause
dimensional
this is
either.
helping reduce the amount of questions. The others, I mean, there were so many of us, but these people just kind of dropped out without an actual story. Is there I would say, is there a chance any of them would be in the dorms?
I'm actually trying to remember, like, who all got one originally? Nox,
It
Keck.
was Keck, Nox,
Solvus.
Solvus, Dante.
Saren.
I think he dropped out I think he left the group by the time we got there.
Yeah, he went pretty early.
Yeah. I think that was it.
Yeah, Dante. There must have been 6 or 7 rings.
That's cool.
I only thought it was like a group of
Wow.
4 or 5 at the time. But,
I think it was
like,
a group of 4 or 5 at the time too. Yeah.
And we have explanations for why 2 of them are gone. Don't think 3. Actually, no. The third one we did too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Solvus. Why did Solvus leave?
But then there was also Zolgan.
Yeah, those two.
Zolgan never had one.
Zolgan never had one because he joined later. He was in there.
Yeah. Us.
He joined up with us as we went to the Kingdom of Ol.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So he never went into that area.
Yeah. I
Solvus
think there
went
were like
in.
4 rings. Yeah.
I think Solvus is the only one that's unaccounted for. Like, had a ring and didn't have a in-story place that it went to.
Yeah, but he also left pretty early, like before you guys left to go to the Theocracy. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he left after we went around the Kraken Republic and
Yeah.
saw that harpy.
Mm-hmm. Your
'Cause he-
first glimpse at the 5. Way back when.
The 5 players that we'll get eventually.
No, the 5 as in the 5 people that you're killing.
I'm still looking for the 5 players.
I think there was only 4. I don't remember if I don't know of a 5th one.
I do feel like we were at we were on a down tick, and going in there.
Yeah.
Because I remember that's why it was easier to justify us getting stuff for kind of free, because we were like, well, you're only gonna need to give us like a handful of them. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're all gone.
Yeah, so I've got the only one left.
Uh-huh.
But we are going to have to find a way to make more.
She goes,
Do you know of any other ways in? We think he probably fled the country, and apparently we need these to go to the next one.
I mean, I don't know if entering the zone underground would provide any protection, but it's a very significant risk.
Nox, you also remember one other place that induces quite a headache. The town of the Forgotten.
Oh,
But we're just not gonna go there, right? We already been there once. It's fine.
At least the one who went batshit in the town of the Forgotten isn't with us.
Nope.
It was the Blood Hunter character, right?
Yeah, he died.
Yes, you do that so often.
Much less suspicious circumstances.
Yeah, I guess we're in front of the girl. He will mention that. It's like, apparently we need them to go to the next nation over. We think they fled that way.
To the theocracy.
I suppose.
Can I see the ring? If you would.
Ops would flip it off and hand it over.
She takes it and she looks and she's like, ah, now I see why you thought to come to me. This is powerful.
It's friggin' magic.
How the
I like it. So wait, we walked in and asked her if she could make it. And she's like, I don't make jewelry. Why did you come to me?
Like,
And now that
that's
she's
And then she's just
observing
like,
it more intently, like with a keen eye, she's like, "Oh fuck! Now I know why."
And I'll be honest,
Oh my god!
And-
You guys
And the
Pretty
fact
much
that even
all-
someone of her magic level just goes, oh, fuck.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
even it's so weird because it's like everybody else, like all the other 3 players, they're like just sitting here, like we don't even know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, but then that comes across, and you're like, "Oh, this is powerful."
Also, Fenrir doesn't know any of this either. He joined afterwards as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, what the fuck is going on? And Mason's just like, he's being patient about this. Like, I have no idea what the fuck
Here
is
you go,
going
Nox.
on right now.
She hands it to you very delicately, not to like as if she's holding something made of like super fragile.
Yeah, just take
And
it
she
back
goes-
and casually slip it back on his hand.
I'm gonna need some time to figure out how to do that, 'cause that's some pretty powerful stuff.
Is there anything that you need us to retrieve in the meantime that you would definitely need?
The ring itself doesn't look to be of too high of a value. So just a decent ring, something made of good quality materials and stuff, that should do. The spell components, I should have them, but it's a pretty powerful enchantment. I'm gonna have to look through some old notes and things. I know Yen Cedric was looking into how to, she puts in quotation marks, destroy the barrier, but I didn't realize he had done that. So I'm gonna need to look into his notes. Maybe it's somewhere in there. Give me a couple days. Take those days to get the other 3 companions some decent rings. They need to be just like yours, just a singular band with flat outer edge. Just something simple. Let me go, and she goes off rummaging through books and texts and tomes and things. As you leave,
Alright.
that is where we're going to end it for today.
Yeah, makes sense.
I hope you all
Thank you, indeed.
a great rest of your day. See you later. Goodbye.